After the premiere of Deadpool and Wolverine, Marvel fans quickly set their sights on what's next for the MCU, and for good reason. That same weekend, Marvel Studios revealed exclusive footage for Thunderbolts, Captain America Brave New World, and the Fantastic Four at their Hall H San Diego Comic-Con panel. Oh, and they revealed Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, the next big bad set to take on the Avengers in Doomsday and Secret Wars. And then, early the next week, Marvel Studios came out with a new slate of films that moved some release dates around. And then, some big reports started coming out about the future direction of the MCU and its story. A lot is still up in the air, but this next phase of Marvel movies is sure to be a game changer. The big report circulating online was that, according to Daniel RPK, someone who I would consider to be on the more reliable side of scoopers, reported that all MCU projects released between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars that are not prequels will be set in Battleworld. For those that may not be familiar with that term, Battleworld was essentially a patchwork planet created by Doom using the power of the Beyonders, comprising fragments of various realities and dimensions, with Doom as its godlike ruler. It's where we'll inevitably see various versions of our favorite Marvel heroes played by different actors, etc. If this report and current release dates hold true, that would mean that every release between May 1st, 2026 and May 7th, 2027 would be set in Battleworld, as long as it's not a prequel. And that honestly doesn't give us a lot. The new slate for Marvel movies that I previously mentioned has Captain America Brave New World coming out February 14th, 2025, Thunderbolts May 2nd, 2025, The Fantastic Four First Steps July 25th, 2025, Blade November 7th, 2025, although we'll see if that in fact holds true. A to-be-announced film on February 13th, 2026, Avengers Doomsday on May 1st, 2026, a to-be-announced film on November 6th, 2026, Secret Wars on May 7th, 2027, and then two more to-be-announced films on July 23rd and November 5th, 2027. Those empty slots may be filled soon, especially with D23 this coming weekend, but right now that means there's only one film currently set between the next two Avengers movies. But that could mean we see a lot of Disney Plus shows instead. Over the course of a year, they could probably fit in 3 shows without exhausting fans too much, so that may be the route they choose to take when exploring Battleworld, rather than have a bunch of films take place in there. Marvel Studios also removed July 24th, 2026 from their release schedule. It's been theorized that this could get nabbed by Sony for their 4th Spider-Man movie starring Tom Holland, but according to the report, that would mean that it's set in Battleworld, which may not be the right move. Based on how No Way Home ended, with everyone forgetting who Peter Parker is, everyone has been expecting to finally get a street-level Spider-Man, something we really haven't gotten yet from the character in the MCU, given his close ties to Tony Stark and the Avengers. And especially with how No Way Home brought in all of these different characters from different multiverses, I don't think the next Spider-Man film has to do the same thing being set on Battleworld. Because, if it were there, it's very likely that we would see him finally fighting the Sonyverse villains and bringing those different versions of Spider-Man together. Otherwise, the Spider-Man movie would have to be a prequel to Doomsday, which wouldn't make much sense to do either. It would make more sense for it to be the February 13th slot if we were to see a street-level Spider-Man before he gets pulled into another Avengers movie, because there's no way they're leaving the character out of Doomsday and Secret Wars. The other film that would make sense for the February 13th slot before Avengers Doomsday would be Doctor Strange 3. Multiverse of Madness had the post-credit scene with Clea, where she references an incursion coming because of Strange, and them having to go fix it. So a sequel following that incursion would be an easy way to nicely lead straight into Doomsday and Doom's ultimate goal. Everything with the multiverse has been a bit of a mess so far, but a Doctor Strange movie would be the perfect way to clear some things up before we get another Avengers movie. However, it's also been reported that Doom will appear in the next Doctor Strange movie, and that the film will be set in Battleworld, and that both Tom Hiddleston and Tobey Maguire will appear. That all makes it sound like it'll premiere between the next Avengers movies, but I guess that isn't impossible if all of that happens near the climax or the end of the movie setting up Doomsday. But that's also coming from a less reliable source, so I'm not too trusting of that report. Other than those, Shang-Chi 2, Thor 5, Armor Wars, and Black Panther 3 are other titles getting thrown around to fill those to-be-announced slots, but since we know very little about where those stories are heading, it's difficult to say anything for certain. Hopefully we'll get some more announcements, or at least more clarity, this weekend during Marvel's D23 panel. What are you most excited to see from the MCU in the next few years? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like the video, and subscribe for more Marvel coverage every week, and remember to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Thank you all for watching, and remember, the Force will be with you. Always.